This video we're going to be going over what are the 5 meta weapons to use at the start of the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, and this is an absolutely solid list with some really exciting weapons. So starting off at number 1 we have the P890 pistol, which is the starting pistol. This gun could 2-tap literally anyone at close range, which is absolutely insane. And on top of that, you pretty much start with this gun, so you can pretty much use it as like your shotgun close range weapon. Now before we get into the class setup, make sure you subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 50k subscribers. But when it comes to the muzzle, you want to use the Forge muzzle. This is going to help with bullet velocity and help with the recoil as well. It just helps with recoil smoothness overall, but if you don't really care about being suppressed with this gun, then you can also use this here, which is the Saab compensator. Both are really solid choices in my opinion. The Saab compensator is the one I'd personally choose, but you can use the Forge suppressor as well. When it comes to the barrel, you want to use a Tac Corpse barrel. The reason for this is because you want to make sure you can draw the weapon as quickly as possible. So not only is it going to help with movement speed, but it's also going to help with aim down sight speed, and you want to make sure that you're able to get your gun down as quickly as possible to kill the players as fast as possible. Then when it comes to the trigger action, again we're mainly focusing on speed here, so this is going to be fire rate, and this is going to allow you to spam the gun again super quickly. I know it is a semi-automatic pistol, so you're going to need to have the fire rate there when you are pressing the trigger. Then for magazine, you can use a 10 or 12 round mags. Both are kind of great options, to be fair. It doesn't really matter too much which one you pick. I would just go with the 12 because it is the largest ones available. And then finally, when it comes to the rear grip, you actually want to choose the FJX rear grip for recoil control. Make sure you're landing those shots. Now you can remove the rear grip and put on an optic if you like, if that helps you kind of stay on target, but like I said, you should only be using this gun in about 10 to 15 meters, nothing really further than that. Next up, we've got the M4, which is not only your starting assault rifle, but always a meta choice at the beginning of any Call of Duty game. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense for it to be on this list. Now, when it comes to the muzzle, this overall is actually one of the best builds for this gun, or the best build in my opinion. You want to use the Komodo Heavy to help with the horizontal recoil control. It's one of the more important things that you need to try and control on this M4 weapon overall. Then when it comes to the barrel, you actually want to use the high tower barrel. This is the best barrel for this gun. I know other people are using the carbine shroud. It's still not a good option. You want to make sure you're using the high tower. This is the best one, and it's the one that you unlock when you get your M4 to level 20 anyway, so you don't need to level up any other weapon, just your M4. And then when it comes to the underbarrel, the Ripper underbarrel is the best in the entire game in my opinion. This can work on pretty much any gun for the most part. There's a few exceptions, but the Ripper does work extremely well on pretty much every single weapon. Then when it comes to the laser, you definitely want to put this laser on here. This is going to be the OLE laser, which actually helps with aim down sight time. It's going to make sure you can get that gun up as quickly as possible because the barrel does con your aim down sight time, so we are trying to make up for that. So make sure you do equip the OLE laser. And last but not least, you could choose whatever you like here as your final attachment. You could choose an optic. I know a lot of people like that, but the iron sights are relatively clean on the M4. So I'd actually like to go for the 45 round mags, and this is the perfect build. Next up, we have the Vel 46 or the MP7, and I understand why they made this a starting SMG because, to be perfectly honest, it can do everything extremely well, and that is a really good reason. I was torn between this and the P90 because the P90 is absolutely insane in this game as well, so both are really good options. Those are probably 2 best SMGs in the entire game in my opinion, but I do like the MP7 a bit more. Now when it comes to the build for this, you do want to use that Ripper underbarrel once again for the recoil stabilization, which is a very important stat in this game. And then when it comes to the muzzle, you do also want to choose the AVR compensator. This is going to help with the horizontal recoil control and vertical recoil control, and then it does con your aim down sight speed, which isn't really too much of a con, especially since the aim down sight on the MP7 or Vel 46 is actually relatively quick anyway, so you don't need to worry about that too much. And then when it comes to the barrel, you 100% need to have the LMCD7 barrel. This is the best barrel for this gun. It makes it an absolute laser beam, so it helps with recoil control, helps with hip fire accuracy as well, or hip fire recoil control, bullet velocity, and aim down sight time. So overall, just the best barrel for the Vel 46. And then I would definitely put the laser on here as well. Now the laser that you want to put on is actually the ULO 66 laser to help with hip fire accuracy. Now hip firing with this gun is also extremely good. So overall, just a well-rounded SMG. Now for the final attachment, I like to put on the slimline optic. I don't really like the iron sights, but they are okay enough to use. So you can put on a larger mag, which is a 50 round mag. Base with this weapon, you do get a 40 round mag, which I think is perfect and a good sweet spot. Next up, we have the most aggressive sniper type weapon in this game, which is the Saab 50. Now this has the fastest aim down sight time than the SPR or any other sniper rifle you want to compare to this weapon. This is the most aggressive one, and this is the one that you want to be using. Now with this build, it has almost a 400 millisecond aim down sight time, which is basically very similar to what the Kar 98 used to be like in Modern Warfare 2019. So absolutely insane, and you can obviously one shot to the head, one shot to the chest as well with this gun. So I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer. Now when it comes to the muzzle, you want to actually make sure you're using the Castovia muzzle. This is the best. It's going to give you bullet velocity. It's going to help with recoil control, but that's not too important when it comes to sniper rifles like this, because you're going to be scoping in and then scoping back out when you take your next shot anyway, so it's not really too important. Even a con to recoil control isn't something we need to worry about too much. Then when it comes to the laser, you do want to make sure that you're actually going for the OLE laser. You want that aim down sight time. It also helps the sprint to fire speed, which also in turn works in tandem with your aim down sight time. So overall, the gun's going to just feel like super snappy when you do use it. Then when it comes to the rear grip, you do actually want to put on the match grip here. This is going to actually help again with aim down sight time and sprint to fire, but as you've seen there, it cons your recoil, but it's not something we need to worry too much about. For ammunition, you want to put on high velocity. This is going to make sure your shots are connecting at range. Now it does con your damage range a bit. Now I have tested in private matches this weapon along with the other marksman rifles, so if you do want to check out our video on that, you could check it out at the end of this one. But also when it comes to the damage range, I do feel like this can one-shot headshot up to about 50 meters, which is what I've tested in game so far, and I've only tested in 6v6, so I'm not really too sure how this fares in the kind of larger scale game modes. If it's still one-shot headshots like past 100 meters, I've no idea because I haven't tested that far, but when it comes to standard 6v6 up to 50 meters, you could definitely get a one-shot headshot and a one-shot chest shot as well, to throw that in there. When it comes to optics, you want to use the SZ Bullseye optic. I do think this is the best overall, because not only is it 6x zoom, but also it's a really clean optic on top of that, and it allows you to hit your shots super easy. Last but not least, we have the TAC 56, which is a variation of the SCAR assault rifle, and this gun is absolutely insane as well. It's the second assault rifle you unlock, and I think is a really solid weapon. Now in the beta it was absolutely broken, but in this game it's still pretty solid, to be perfectly honest. Definitely still a good choice. So for the muzzle, you actually want to use the Komodo Heavy. Once again, it helps with that horizontal recoil control. It's absolutely the best at giving you the best side-to-side control in this game. Then when it comes to barrels, there's no barrels that actually help with recoil or give us any benefits that we really need here, so we're not choosing any barrels. When it comes to the lasers, you want to use the OLE laser to give you that faster aim down sight time and the faster sprint to fire speed once again. And then when it comes to the underbarrel, again, we want to go for that Ripper underbarrel, because it's going to help with the recoil stabilization, and that is the main thing you want to control when it comes to most of these guns in this game. And then when it comes to the rest of the attachments, the next best attachment in my opinion is the TV X-Line Pro stock. It's going to help with aim down sight time, but it does con your recoil control. And then lastly, I would personally choose an optic, which is the Cronin Mini Pro. But you can actually go for a larger magazine as well if you really want to, if you don't mind the iron sights. I'm not a huge fan of the iron sights on this gun, so I do like the optic. So there we have it. Those are 5 meta weapons you can start using in Modern Warfare 2 right now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.